Hello, welcome to part 6 of all my Yankee candles A to Z, and today we're covering D and E, candles beginning with D and E. I've got one before I start though. This is an extra C, so I've just picked this one up. It's Coastal Living. Coastal Living I have reviewed on my channel before, but for one reason or another I didn't have it until this week, so there's an extra beachy one. This is fresh, open air, sand dunes, and it has a lovely spearminty touch to it as well that gives it that little bit of pizzazz and open doors. It's a very nice candle and a beautiful label, Coastal Living. As you can see, there's got an absolutely stunning label. So there we go, there's an extra C, and we will now get on into the D's and E's in no particular order. We will go with Enchanted Moon. Enchanted Moon came out in 2018 as a limited edition, and I don't know about you, but this screams to me Halloween. Enchanted, even though it was released, I think, as a sort of autumn limited edition, but it's a perfect Halloween candle. And it's quite unusual for kind of an autumnal scent because it's quite floral, but it's very mysterious as well, and it does have that feel of the kind of open sea. And mystery and exoticness, but with a floral kind of twist in it too, so very nice. Enchanted Moon, but yes, this one's all about the label, isn't it? So there we go, Halloween lovers. Next up, let's go for another new one for me. I've finally got hold of it. It's Driftwood. Driftwood. Now, of course, Seaside Woods came out in 2019, so I was very interested to see how Driftwood compared, because a lot of people say it's similar. It's really nice. It's kind of, it sounds insane to say this, but it smells like a sandy beach. Like the fantasy of a kind of sandy beach with a bit of sun motion. But it's got a sparkly kind of green note to it as well. I think it's actually got pine in it, which is quite unusual. But that sparkly green note gives it a bit of pizzazz. So it's like kind of walking along the beach, and there's, really summery trees blowing on the wind as well. So that's Driftwood. Okay, the next one, where should we go? Let's go for one of the big guns. Probably my number one favourite candle of all time, or it's always in my top 2 or 3. My only complaint with the stunning, amazing, wonderful evening air is it's a little bit too light. I'd love it if it had a bit more oomph. But the best description I've ever heard of this one, it's so exotic, is that it smells like the Egyptian room at Harrods, or certainly how it used to. I don't know, I haven't been to Harrods for years, but it's like the blend of the most incredible, intoxicating, rich, luxurious perfumes that you can imagine. Oh, evening air is just beautiful. There we go. So that's probably, if it's not still my number one, it's always very close to it. I do chop and change my opinion all the time, but the lovely evening air. Well, let's go for a complete let's go for the morning after the evening, and early sunrise. Early sunrise pops up every now and then from Yankee Candle. And early sunrise is a soft, lemony pizzazz, and it just captures that feel of the sun rising, whether it's a winter's morning or a spring morning. That cool effect with it's got a lemony aspect to it that just gives you that feel of the gentle warmth of the sun's rays, whatever time of year. Very beautiful, soft, lemony fragrance. Early sunrise, very nice indeed. Where should we go now? Let's head up into the mountains, and Edelweiss. This is a scent that people sometimes tag onto the My Favourite Things series because of the Sound of Music and all that kind of stuff, but it's not. It's a standalone Edelweiss, and it's a crisp floral. It's a very bright, sharp floral. It reminds me a bit of Yankee's White Gardenia. It's a crisp white floral. It's very beautiful. As you can see, I've never burned it yet because it's that curse of having only one of them. But there we go. Edelweiss is a beauty, isn't it? There we go. Okay, we've got 5 to go, and let's go back to the beach. And Dune grass. Dune grass is one of the first kind of beachy, grassy scents. Yankee have done a few spin-offs of stuff that's a little bit similar, but nothing is quite as great as Dune grass, and I'm sure if they did bring it back, it wouldn't be as lush and strong as this, because they tend to the re-releases of original fragrances don't tend to be quite as deep or sophisticated as the original releases. Dune grass is beautiful. It's a sweet smelling, For those of you who've got wild seagrass, this isn't quite as earthy as wild seagrass, but wild seagrass is a little bit easier to get hold of, and it's slightly similar. Dune grass is more of a clean, grassy, beachy scent than the kind of earthiness of wild seagrass, but it's beautiful, dune grass. Okay, and now we will go, let's try this lovely one, Exotic Bloom. There's lots of D's and E's that are some of my favourites of all time. Exotic Bloom is one of my favourites of all time. This is, again, it's a floral, but it smells like the most expensive lady's perfume. It's so elegant and beautiful, and it's really strong. It's got a great powerful throw, and the exotic word really does work with this candle. It is certainly exotic bloom. If you can ever pick one up and find one, it's absolutely stunning and highly recommended. 3 to go. We'll stick with the warm theme, and the lovely and much missed Egyptian musk, with its beautiful mysterious label with the pyramids on it there. Egyptian musk is, it just smells like that kind of that gentle, again a gentle sandy wind and a desert warmth. It's musky, a slight vanilla. That is the musk that gives it that really Egyptian exotic kind of, feel to it. Beautiful, mystical, mysterious, wonderful Egyptian musk. Can't say any more than that. 2 to go. Where shall we go next? Okay, we'll finish with a big bang. This is great. This is Ebony and Oak. Ebony and Oak came out, when did it come out? I can't see that. 2016. And it retired, as I said, on Team Yankee last night. I think in 2018. I looked it up because somebody asked. Ebony and Oak. And this is a powerhouse of an autumn-winter thrower with its label of kind of frosted acorns and pine cones on it with a snowy frosting. It's a powerhouse thrower, this one. Again, it's a beautiful kind of deep, rich aftershave scent with a hint of nuttiness to it, full of all that kind of wintry warmth, goodness. Do you know what I picked up in the base somewhere? Some slightly similar notes that maybe, I don't know, am I going mad? Cozy sweater kind of notes underneath that. But Ebony and Oak is bold, it's strong, it's wintry, it's autumnal, it's fresh, but warming at the same time. Fantastic fragrance, Ebony and Oak. And last but definitely not least, let's whiz back to Christmas again, as in my last video, and this is Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls is an incredible Christmas scent. It's very different, quite hard to get hold of in the UK. Deck the Halls, the best way to describe this is it's decadent. It's very old-fashioned. This reminds me of Christmas in the 1970s and the 1980s. It's got that kind of filter. It's one of my very, very favourites, probably because it brings back memories of like childhood Christmases and all that kind of fun and excitement that went with it, because it is quite an old-fashioned fragrance. Absolutely love it, with its kind of, I think it's cedar notes in there. One of my favourite Christmas fragrances of all time. Deck the Halls, great way to finish, I think, on Deck the Halls, why not? And I'll be back soon with the next part. Thank you for watching, bye.